All right, boys and girls, just finished watching all the videos right now, and I'm super excited to talk about this. It is officially Pokemon Day, celebrating the day that Pokemon Red and Green were released in Japan. So guess what? Japan has just, or the Pokemon company, I should say, just released a video. And I gotta say it, man. 2025, Pokemon's going balls to the wall, baby. First and foremost, I mean, they just announced all sorts of stuff. They just announced, basically everything that Pokemon has their hands in right now. It's all getting a big update for 2025. Starting with, obviously, first Pokemon Concierge. It's this cartoon series. If you haven't watched it, highly recommend it. It's just a cool little thing. It's nothing like too crazy. It's stop motion animation, but they create all the Pokemon with like yarn and wool and things like that, so all the Pokemon have really cool textures and all that. So they announced that they're working on season 2, and season 2 will be out later on this year. They also announced big updates for Pokemon Unite, more characters, remote stadiums coming back with a new layout. If you're a fan of the Pokemon trading card game Pocket, I know Dr. Snake is, he loves that, where you just basically collect cards digitally. They just announced they're going to drop a new theme deck called Triumphant Light. Very much the same way that they drop the new decks every couple months. We just got one a little long, not too long ago. Got a new card set. And then Pokemon Go is gonna have some new missions going on. So if you still play Pokemon Go, you got that to look forward to, as well as they just announced something called Pokemon Champions, which I have a lot of thoughts about. I feel like in my mind that's going to be very much a spiritual successor to Pokemon Stadium, because I mean, it's just so much about it. They haven't really given out too many details about it yet, but one of the things that they did make clear was that you can transfer in all your Pokemon. Well, first off, it's cross-platform, so you'll be able to play it either on your telephone or on your Switch. And sorry for the noise. I'm out here, the parking lot of my work. But you're gonna be able to. It's gonna be cross-play, so you can either play on your phone or on your Switch, and you'll be able to transfer Pokemon in. So I have a feeling that if you're playing on your phone, you'll be able to do a direct transfer from Pokemon Go. That's what it looks like. And if you're on your Switch, you'll be able to do a transfer through Pokemon Home. So you'll actually be able to play your games. You'll actually be able to play your Pokemon from your games, direct. So that's gonna be pretty cool. My main concern being is that it's gonna be a lot of like microtransactions and pay to win and blah 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 blah. Which, I mean, it's always whenever you get a new game like this, especially on mobile, you're always worried about that. Hopefully not. I mean, it looks cool. I have a feeling that it's going to be a little unfair, because if you play on your Switch, you're obviously investing time into those Pokemon, and you just train them up, as opposed to playing on Pokemon Go. Well, I don't know. I'm not. You know what? I'm not going to say anything else, because I actually didn't get a chance to play Pokemon Go really. I was always the chauffeur, so I had to drive my wife around while she played. But yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be the spiritual successor to Pokemon Stadium, which, I mean, that would be pretty cool. I know I've been waiting for Pokemon Stadium a new Pokemon Stadium for quite a while. It's been quite a few years. I think there was one on GameCube. I don't recall, but yeah, that's gonna be really cool. Again, you'll be able to transfer in your Pokemon from Pokemon Home, or if you're playing on your phone, from Pokemon Go, which is pretty cool. And then another cool thing, they spoke to a gentleman in Mexico, and they made the announcement that Pokemon will now be printed in 10 languages, which means they'll be using Spanish from Latin America. So from all mi gente out there, we got Pokemon in Spanish. I know that might not matter. Like, well, Pokemon was already in Spanish, this and that, but well, yeah, it wasn't Spanish, but it was in what is it, Castilian Spanish, Spanish from Spain, basically. Think about it, people. If it'd be the same as if they said, oh yeah, we're gonna put, Pokemon in English, but it's English from the UK. Everybody's gonna have an accent, and there's gonna be lots of words and phrases that we don't use here in the States. So it'd be like that. So surprisingly, you would think that every person that speaks Spanish can understand each other. Not always, no. I mean, you have accents, you have dialects, and again, just different words that we use. Like, again, using the UK as an example, there's a part of the game they say, oh, hey, we got to go rescue these Pokemon. They've been trapped in the boot of a lorry. The hell does that mean? Well, that's when they have the US version that says, oh, hey, someone threw some Pokemon in the trunk of a truck. So anyways, enough of that ridiculousness. The big announcement. Finally, our first look at Pokemon Legends ZTA. And I mean, this looks super cool. First and foremost, it's going to be based in Lumio City, which was the biggest city in Pokemon X and Y. It was very easy to get lost in there, and I mean, it just looks huge now. They announced the starters already, so you're going to have your option between Tepig, Chikorita, or Totodile. I don't know why that combination, but hey, whatever works, right? Yeah, I mean, there's going to be so many things going on in this game. You're going to have areas called Wild. So I don't know if you'll be able to actually go outside of the city. I mean, the city looks huge as it is. But you'll have access to these areas called Wild Zones, which look like parts of the city where maybe like nature's kind of taken over. And there's supposed to be parts of the city where Pokemon are allowed to roam free. Wild Pokemon are allowed to roam free. So you'll be able to actually walk out into the wild areas. And if you play Legends of Pokemon Legends Arceus, you'll understand kind of how it works. You can walk up and just start chugging Pokeballs. If you catch them, you catch them. If not, you have to battle. And I mean, the way the battling looks in this game, they have definitely like up the battle mechanics from Legends of Arceus. Because I mean, if you play Legends of Arceus, you'll know what I'm talking about, because in Legends of Arceus, you can actually be, next to your Pokemon as they're battling. And, you can move around and basically get a whole 360 view of the battle. And so now you're going to kind of be doing the same thing in Legends ZA. But the cool thing is now you can also take into effect that attacks have certain ranges. So it might be a short range attack, long range attack. It also has areas of effect. So if you're doing maybe like a Hydro Pump, yeah, you might be able to hit from one side of the battlefield to the other, as opposed to a Water Gun. But then maybe you do a Fire Blast, and it's only going to, affect one small portion of the battle map. So that's going to be cool. And it also looks like it's going to be more real-time based. So looks from the short clip, it looks like you can actually dodge attacks now. So that's going to be pretty cool. As well as your character will have to dodge the attack so as not to be injured during the battle. It's just, 2025 is going to be huge for Pokemon. And I mean, I've got so many, I literally have to watch it again. I just want to give my initial reaction to this thing, because there's just so much coming out. Like I said, Champions, we've got, Legends ZA, the new episodes of Concierge. I mean, Go is getting new missions, Unite's getting new missions, and they also announced that Mega Evolutions are coming to the TCG, so that's gonna be really cool. So they gave some examples. They showed some examples of the cards, which would have been like Mega Lucario EX. I believe there was like Mega Gyarados EX, so that's gonna be really cool. And so if you're playing the TCG and you're collecting the cards, those are gonna be the big cards you're gonna want to find and collect. But yeah, let me just do that for now, guys. I'm gonna try to get with Dr. Snake later, maybe shoot a video, get some reactions. I still have to bounce some ideas around with him. I know he hasn't seen the video yet. So yeah, I'll get back to you guys. Stay safe out there, guys. This is gonna be the year of Pokemon, baby.